holy kshetra of Jagannath Puri, which is located in Orissa. This is one of the Char Dhams mentioned in Vedic literature. In the four directions of India, there are holy dhams, there are mukti sthans, places of liberation. If anyone dies there, they get liberated, which means they go to the Vaikuntha. In the north we have Badrinath, Badri Vishal, Badrinath. And then in the east we have Jagannath Swami. In the west we have Dwarkanath. In the south we have Rameshwaram, where Lord Ram worshipped his devotee, Lord Shiva. So these are the four dhams called Char Dham. Sometimes people in North India people refer to Gangotri, Jamunotri, Kedarnath and Badrinath as Char Dham. But this is their own bhav. Maybe you've heard Char Dham. Gangotri, the source of Ganga; Jamunotri, the source of Jamuna; Badrinath and Kedarnath. Kedarnath is the abode of Mahadev, Shankar, Bhagavan, Lord Shiva, and Badrinath is Lord Vishnu. But according to Vedic Shastras, the four holy places are, the actual Char Dham is Badrinath, Rameshwaram, Jagannath Puri, and Dwarka. And Jagannath Puri is a very interesting holy place, aside from being a very nice place to go in the winter. It's like 30 degrees there right now, 25 at night. We took bath this morning in the ocean at sunrise. We have this magmas. But there are many, many stories about Jagannath Swami. It's explained that the puja of Jagannath has been going on for 150 million years. It's a long time. 150 million years. And there's Mahatmyams. In Skanda Purana and Padma Purana, there are actual chapters enunciating the glories of Purushottam Kshetra. One of the names of Purushottam Kshetra is Durlabh Kshetra. It's very difficult to attain. How many of you have visited there? You can raise your hand if you've seen Jagannath Puri. Oh, quite a few actually. Maybe one fourth of the people here have seen. So it's called Durlabh Kshetra. And our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he spent the last 18 years of his life living there. So by his presence there, he made it a very special place. But this deity, Lord Jagannath, he's endeared. The Buddhists like Lord Jagannath because they say he represents the formless Brahman, or he represents the void. Because Jagannath is black in color, mostly black. And so void, nothingness, emptiness, voidness is black also. Or they say he represents the impersonal Brahman. The Buddhists say they see him as an emblem of shunyavad, or of voidism, black, nothing. And the Mayavadis, they say that he's the impersonal Brahman, because doesn't appear that he has any form. No arms are there, no neck is there, no legs. It's a block of wood. Daru Brahman. Brahman, or spiritual substance, God in the form of wood, Daru Brahman. But the Vaishnavas, we have a very interesting viewpoint. Generally it's understood that Jagannath is Dwarkadish. He's Lord Krishna in the mood of Dwarka, in Vaikuntha mood. There was a famous Orissan Vaishnava. His name was Kanai Kutiya. He wrote one book in Aryan language called Mahabhav Prakash. And he revealed in that book, and this is also the realization that was revealed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu lived in Puri, he saw Lord Jagannath as Brajendra Nandan Shamsundar, Krishna. playing the flute, Murlidhar, Vamshidhar. He saw like this. So in this book, Mahabhav Prakash, he's telling that Jagannath, the form of Jagannath, which is unknown to most of the people. Most people say Jai Jagannath, Jagannath, the Lord of the universe. Well, God is the Lord of the universe. He is omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. Everyone accepts that. Pious religious people, at least. So here, God, that unlimited Lord, that Lord of the universe, is represented in this large deity. He's about 6 feet tall and about 5 feet wide. Very, very huge deity, Jagannath. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw Brajendrananda and Krishna, and he understood that this form of Jagannath is actually Krishna in Mahabhav. When Krishna is experiencing the Mahabhav of Radharani, the intense loving attachment, then his body undergoes vikar, or transformation, and his arms go inside his body. His head practically goes in his body, his legs disappear. A very unusual form. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself, so Jagannath is Krishna in a mood of separation from Radharani, crying in separation. Sometimes they say that Sri Kshetra, it's called Sri Kshetra, Purushottam Kshetra, Jagannath Puri, Durlabh Kshetra, Dasavatar Kshetra. There are many names for this holy Dham of Puri, Jagannath Puri. But they say that it's also Krandan Kshetra. Krandan means crying, is it right?
Yeah.
Krandan. Crying Kshetra. The field of crying, the place of crying. This is where the Lord cries for his devotee, and the devotee cries for the Lord. Because it's told in various scriptures, as we've mentioned maybe once before, when Krishna is in Dwarka is actually, when Krishna is in Dwarka, his body is there, he's Dwarkadish, he's surrounded by his 16,000 queens, 108 queens, Rukmini, Satyabhama, Mitravinda, Satyam, Jambavati, Lakshmana, and others. But his heart is crying out for Vrindavan. So he's crying for Vrindavan. At night, Krishna's crying, Radhe, Radhe, Radhe. And then when Krishna is in Dwarka, then Radharani is in Vrindavan. She's in Varsana and Yavat. And she's crying for Krishna. Oh, where's my Krishna gone? Krishna Kahan, Krishna Kahan. So Radharani is crying. So when Lord Chaitanya saw Brajendrananda and Shyamasundar, he saw, okay, this is the Jagannath deity, but I'm seeing Brajendrananda and Shyamasundar. And this mood, or this form that he's describing, or displaying, is a mood of Krishna in Dwarka crying for Radharani. Mahabhav Prakash. Prakash means manifestation, or display, showing. And then Lord Chaitanya, who was Krishna in the mood of Radharani, so he was crying for Krishna. Everywhere Lord Chaitanya went in his sannyas lila, he was looking for Krishna. He would meet someone and he would ask them, can you show me Krishna? Where is Krishna? Krishna Kahan, Krishna Kahan. So when Krishna in the form of Mahaprabhu, who is in Radhabhav, so when Radharani cries for Krishna, then she displays a form of Mahabhav Prakash, and that's Lord Chaitanya's Kurma Chaitanya form. You will read in Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishna's Kaviraj that some nights Lord Chaitanya would escape from his room because he was kind of being held captive there, because some nights in his ecstasy of separation from Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his intense Radhabhav, he would run out of his Gambhir, the room he was staying in, and jump in the ocean, seeing the ocean, thinking or mistaking the ocean to be Jamuna. And then he would get practically drowned in the ocean. He'd get caught in a fisherman's net and dragged up on shore. and then retrieved by his followers. So to prevent these type of outbursts of ecstasy, the followers of Lord Chaitanya would put one devotee inside the room with him, and to act as a pillow. He said pillow. And that was Shankara Pandit. Shankara Pandit was one Brahmin associated with Lord Chaitanya. He was known as the pillow of Lord Chaitanya. Because Lord Chaitanya, when he would rest, he would put his legs on his lap. Shankara Pandit would massage his legs. Lord Chaitanya would fall asleep. Sometimes Shankara Pandit would fall asleep. He was supposed to be massaging the Lord, but he would fall asleep. Then the Lord would take his own chadar and put it on his servant's body to keep him warm. And then when they did that, then the servant would wake up. Oh, excuse me. Then he would go back to massaging the Lord's legs. Shankara Pandit. And outside the door was Lord Chaitanya's godbrother Govinda Das, who was serving him. So they were posted there to protect the Lord. But somehow or other, by the arrangement of Yogamaya, Krishna's internal potency, the Lord would escape, and he would run in the middle of the night during the Ras Leela time. He would run to the temple crying out, Sham Sundar, Sham Sundar, because he's Krishna in a male form as Chaitanya, but the Bhav of Radharani. Radha's Bhav and Radha's Kanti, Radha's color and Radha's mood of love. Bhav. So then, as Radha separated from Krishna, she would run, or Chaitanya would run to the temple and try to get in the temple. But the temple's locked. Where's my Krishna? Where's my Krishna? Then he would run around to the side of the temple, the southern side. And there are a bunch of cows there, was a Goshala there, and the cows eat all the old rice over there, you can see. So then he would go in the Goshala and he would collapse. And while he was thinking or meditating deeply in separation and crying for Krishna, then he would show his body, Lord Chaitanya's body, would assume the form of a kachawa, a turtle, or tortoise. His arms would go inside his body, his legs would go inside his body, his neck would shrink, his eyes would become very big. And that form is known as Kurma Chaitanya. Maybe you've heard this name, Kurma Chaitanya. So this is the form, when Radharani is showing her Mahabhav Prakash, that's Chaitanya and Kurma Chaitanya form. And when Krishna is crying in deep separation from Radha, he shows the form of Jagannath. So this is all revealed by this great devotee, Kanai Kutiya, in Mahabhav Prakash, one book he wrote, and also in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.